All right, there we are, and welcome to this Challenge TV edition. We are over halfway through. We are over the hump in this year's challenge. And got some fascinating statistics to report to you in this episode. We're also going to tackle some of the big issues. But perhaps most importantly, for the very first time ever, I am going to be able to show you literally what is going on my phone. And this is really important. People think I go on about the iPhone, and I probably do go on about the iPhone. But the truth of it is that this is how I work. You know, this iPhone is literally what I use to work with, literally 80% of the time. The reason I can stay current with the marketplace is because of the iPhone. And track niches, and the corollary to all of this is, of course, that a lot of you don't have the luxury, like I do, of working on this full time. You know, you have to, you are working 9 to 5, you're looking at building your online business, you're looking at, you know, trying to find the time to do all this stuff. And as I think you're starting to realize, you know, this market leadership stuff that we've been teaching, which I've been so thrilled at the response and so thrilled at the ability of what people are starting to see. But for me, the trick to all of this is that if you actually master these tools, and these portable mobile devices are the secret. They're the absolute secret to success. And some of my best mates in the business just do not get this. And it's one thing to describe it, it's another thing for you to see it. And until now, you just haven't. Sadly, for whatever reason, Apple doesn't want you to see this stuff, which is sort of a bit sad. But that's the way it is. So fortunately, we have our methods. And this is very, very, very exciting. So I'd love you to have a look at that. And we're going to show you all of this stuff. And it's going to be very, very, very exciting. All right, back to me. Okay, and I just realised I've got to set this on the right network here. So I'll do this and do this back. Yes, that was on the wrong network. And I'll put that there. So we've got that there for then. Done. Okay. Before we get into to what is going to be, it is literally going to blow you away. I'm convinced of it. There are some stuff that we need to talk about with regards to the challenge this week. So let's go and have a look at our notes as well. And I should point out to you guys that, and just to, particularly Australians will be a little bit fascinated by this. If we go over here, one thing, if you're looking at your connection, this is the site that you should be using, which is speedtest.net. And it literally allows you to test your connection and to see what sort of speed you are getting. So keep in mind that using this speed test, it is a brilliant way just to check out your end because, and as I say, Aussies will love this. Check this bit out. We have a very, very, very fast bandwidth connection, and when it ramps up, you'll see it ramps up to about 10 megabit, which is fantastic. So it really, yes, that's right, show off. And so that has allowed me to bring you guys all of this in high definition for the very first time, which is pretty exciting. So, there you go. Thanks, Michelle Trent, tweeting. Very good. Okay, let's get into the points for the day. Very first point, and it's an important one for me to have the opportunity to address to you guys, is the very different nature of the challenge this year. And we talked about this a lot, actually. If I bring up the desktop here again. it may seem it may seem it may seem a long time ago to some of you, but we had a look at we had actually a full lesson dedicated to the disclaimer and what we have in terms of how we're going to operate this year's challenge, because it is very different because of the length of time, because we're having the 1 week off, and there's no question that has been incredibly effective. Now, that has meant some changes in the way that we traditionally do things. So like our partners such as WordPress Direct and Market Samurai and so on have had to basically be extremely generous in extending the free trial elements of what they're doing through the course of the entire challenge, which is well over 3 months, which is unheard of really in terms of a trial, and we thank them dearly for it. But people have got to eat, and as we discussed in the disclaimer video, which I just talked about, one of the differences this year was that we were going to have to allow our channel partners and ourselves, bluntly, to, in between weeks in particular, promote stuff that we really, really believe in. And WordPress Direct has certainly done that this week. And I think people have had a great chance to have a look at WordPress Direct. What's concerned me, though, is that there seemed to be an impression that because WordPress Direct are offering what I think is a deal of the century, I think it's a brilliant offer, which is a challenge-only offer. You can only get it if you're in the challenge. That in some way that you think that they're cutting off the free trial. Not the case. It's just that it'll never be as cheap as it is right now. And I think, whether you believe it's as effective or not, you've had a well and truly a good enough chance to check it out and know whether you're going to jump in at the special discount offer. You can always decide down the track. It's completely and utterly up to you. But I just wanted to, give my full support to WordPress Direct, because there are so many things that we do that are an advanced nature down the track of the challenge, where WordPress Direct is just a vital part in buying and selling websites, in creating content clusters, in helping us attack various markets with keyword phrases, very sophisticated modeling, all of those sorts of things. WordPress Direct, that ability to be able to get a site up running completely SEO optimized in 15 minutes is still unmatched anywhere in the industry. And it's something that we use literally every day. So I give my double thumbs up to the lads at WordPress Direct. And I mean, I encourage you, if you feel that you're going to be using WordPress Direct a lot, now would be a good time to grab it. But understand, because I know that some people may have missed the disclaimer video, which was the 5th video back at the start of the challenge, that we did mention that we were going to do this, and it's just a fact of life. If we're going to extend the training over this period of time, we could eat stuff for a month, but 1/4 of a whole year, it's just, we can't do it. Now, of course, you have the complete right to ignore any offer, and I encourage you to do that. And if you're totally offended by it, and if you haven't felt the training is worth it, please unsubscribe as soon as you possibly can. We don't want to offend you, and if you don't think you've gotten the value out of the training, well, then you should absolutely leave, please, as soon as possible. But I think the vast majority, in fact, and this is, I'll segue into the next point on this, is in taking the huge risk of giving people a week off and wondering if people will ever come back, because collective wisdom is that if you ever have a project or a process, if you give people time off, they never come back. That is collective wisdom, and quite a body of evidence to that. But we looked at creating an online business when we started the 30-day challenge. The challenge, when we looked at it this year, when we sat down, brought the whole team in from around the globe to discuss how we were going to do this year, we realized that the reality of these businesses is that they're grown and built over time, step by step. And far more important was the habit of getting in working focused for half an hour a day. And by chunking it up into these chunked up areas and chunked up lessons, so you're never ever spending more than 30 minutes at a time doing that. And I think we've done that very well so far. Our hope was that people would not only stick with it, but we'd get other people growing. And the great news is that we have never seen growth like it. It's been phenomenal. We have more people joining the challenge each day than at the start of the challenge, which is just phenomenal. We're so excited by this, and we're seeing something else in the stats, quite funny, bit naughty, but quite funny, is we're seeing huge spikes of traffic at the weekend. So, a lot of you are doing it on the weekends, and I completely get that. I completely understand. If you've been working hard at your job and you want to get home and you want to watch TV, I get that. A lot of people, a lot of, self-help and motivation type dudes would have a crack at you. You shouldn't be looking at the X Factor. You shouldn't be looking at Top Chef. You should be, you should be on your computer building your second business. I think it's crap. I think the whole point of all of this is that you do have time to do what you want to do. And if that's relaxing in front of the TV, that's relaxing in front of the TV. I'm a reality show junkie. I love it. Love, love, love. And that's what I'm doing at night. And it's very important, I think, that people have balance. Now, one of the ways you can get away with that is by knowing how to use the tools properly. And that's what I'm so excited about today. I cannot tell you, because you're finally going to see why I use the tools the way I do and why I rave about them in such an insane way. Okay, so that's that part of the section. See, look, I've got notes. The second part is because we're having so many new people coming, and let me demonstrate here. Let's pop over here, and let's go over to our forum. Great to see I haven't logged in. I love using Facebook Connect for logging into things. I think it just makes life so much easier. But you might notice up here in the top right hand corner is a marvelous function. It is a search function. So something that a lot of you will be typing in and checking out over the next couple of weeks is this little thing. And it's called Google Dance. And you click go. There's a search, and any time that Google Dance is mentioned, it's here, which is fantastic. So you can have a look and look at hang on, Google, hang on. Let's try that again. Google Dance. There we are. Go. There we are. And you can see all the mentions here of, Google Dance. So you can absolutely see all the elements here of people starting to talk about that. And this is a big part of the whole process. I see a few people in the chat room asking about what's Google Dance? What's a Google Dance? Absolutely every single one of you will experience this sometimes between now and the end of the challenge. Every single one of you. You'll be seeing yourself cruising up the Google index, and all of a sudden you'll disappear. You'll be gone, or you'll plummet down to 700, or you'll do something. And universally, it freaks you out. It used to freak us out all the time. Happens absolutely every time. There is no exception. No exception at all. It will happen to every single one of you. It's a test by Google. And that is what is called the Google dance. And guaranteed, if you continue on doing what we teach you, not only will you come back in a couple of days, but you will also pop, usually a lot higher. It's been a test, and that is a really, really cool thing. But the cool thing, of course, is that there is a search function there on the site, and your ability to check out and do that search, it'll just help you save a lot of time if you do a search on the forum and just have a look for the topic, because inevitably a fellow challenger has gone through your issue. So it's a great service. It really works very, very well. So check it out and use it. Okay. Next point I want to make is about our friends at TrafficBug. It is absolutely crucial, and we say it again and again and again and again and again, and yet still it is misrepresented. It is an indexing tool. It helps and assists, particularly people who don't have the authority of something like my Twitter account. We've talked about this in this past module. It helps them get ranked. And so when you're starting out in particular, it's an extremely useful tool. But it's for indexing. Please understand, it is not a ranking tool. It's the first step along the path. And we've taught you some very basic things, and we just want you to focus on those basic things at the moment. And as we get into modules 6 and 7, we'll be talking about this a lot more. So hang 5 and understand what TrafficBug is and isn't, okay? Because it's very, very crucial that you understand that. Final point, before we get into the demo part of today, is I want to talk to you about domain names, and in particular keyword density. I'm seeing a lot of chatter about keyword density and doing, worrying about the density of your keywords and everything. Don't stress. Seriously, it's not that big a deal. Yeah, it would be lovely if you got 100%, but I can show you a million examples of where the keyword density is nothing like that, and it still works fine. The most important thing is that you have your phrase in that URL in some way, shape, or form. That is the most crucial thing. Please don't stress about it. It's just not worth stressing about. It's a minor factor when everything else, there are far more crucial factors involved when it comes to looking at this sort of stuff. So that is that. Last thing I want to remind you, and you'll see some good examples of how I do it in a second. In fact, I'm getting the Joneses because I haven't actually opened my Google Reader all morning today. I'm wondering if anything happened today online, anything interesting. I just want you to think about, as we're going into, as we're in the off week, think about the things that you can be doing. If you've got time and you want to work on your site, the things that you need to focus on are things like doing a 10-minute free writing exercise, fueling up, implementing all the market leadership stuff that I taught you in this past module, feeding some articles and some notes into your Evernote and into your Postgres network. These are the crucial things you need to do. One thing I noticed a lot of traffic about is to talk about backlinks and measuring backlinks in Market Samurai. Now, did we at any point in time ask you to look for backlinks in Market Samurai? No. And there's a good reason. Because at this stage of the game, the figure that you see in Market Samurai is completely and utterly useless. Over the medium term, it can be good. No question about that. But let me tell you, right now, useless. Okay? Completely useless, because it takes somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks for most backlinks to actually show up, if they do show up. Far more interesting, actually, is for you to go and have a look at your analytics and check out your analytics and see what's going on. Are you getting any traffic? If you're getting traffic, are you getting any keywords? That's the cool stuff that you can do. Let me I might bring up my analytics just so you can see, so I can show you. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second. Yeah, there's an obsession over, a little bit of knowledge can be extremely dangerous in the sense that, we've heard about backlinks are important. There's no question about that. Targeted, accurate backlinks are totally important. But you've got to look at it in context. You really do. Oh no, I'm down 63%. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so here we are. This is my my traffic here. You can see, I have up to 600 people a day having a look at my blog. It's nice. I haven't had any big articles this month, but you can see the visitor overview is very important. The traffic overview is really interesting. Now I'm hoping that you lot will see a lot more red than mine. This is a classic example of a market leadership blog where you can see search engines, the red part, is actually a minor part of the equation. This is the beauty of market leadership, is that most of the traffic comes from a particular, typically market leadership traffic comes from direct, people wanting to read the article. And you can see here the keywords that people are coming to my site on. You can see, hilariously, the hottest man in the universe has been responsible for about 625 visits. 33% of visits have been based on the hottest man in the universe, which is hilarious. And you'll recall why we did that little trick. But finding out where you're getting your traffic from is a very, very interesting and cool area. And that is something to focus on, seeing if you've got any traffic at the moment. Now, it's highly likely that you won't have traffic. It's highly likely that you won't have traffic. But that's totally cool, okay? Because we don't really expect much in the way of traffic, but that's a better thing to be looking at than trying to look at backlinks or trying to look at that sort of stuff. The important thing and the biggest lesson out of the entire challenge that we can possibly drum into you is it's the process that's important. And it's following the process that will get you the great results. It's not jumping ahead. It's not incessantly wondering why your backlinks aren't showing up. They won't show up because they just won't show up. One of the things most people don't know is that if a site is rated at PR0 or PR1, and I've seen some absolute toss, sadly, on the forums that people are talking about PR0 links being useless. Just not true. Just not true. And it's sad to see some of that misinformation. But it is important to realise that a site that has an authority of a PR0 is likely to be visited by Google once every 30 to 45 days. So even if you do have a backlink on that site, depending on when you lucked in and when the Google bot comes around next to index that site, it literally may take 4 to 6 weeks for that backlink to register. So, focus on something. Focus on the stuff that is in your control. If that's the mantra for this next week, that would be a wonderful mantra to have, because you have a lot in your control, as I'm about to show you. And, I hope you're getting these two modules that we're in the middle of now, between module 4 and 5. To me, they're the most important modules we've ever taught at any time in the challenge, because they're the secret to fundamental success. And the reason I'm teaching them in the challenge like this is that, can you imagine this sales letter I'd have to write? Work for 12 months every day without any hope of, any guarantee of any sort of success, just the satisfaction that you're doing the process. Wow, that would really bring them in. That's $1 million launch day if I've ever heard one. But the reality is it's the most important thing. Now we're doing a whole bunch of stuff that's going to get you traffic and test markets in a much shorter time frame. But ultimately, I believe success in a marketplace is about some form of market leadership. And as you'll see next week, that market leadership can take so many different things. So if you're shy, if the concept of putting your mug in front of a video horrifies you, I'm told it should horrify me, but I've just got this completely obviously perverted self-image. But that, there are so many tools, as you will see, there are so many ways for you to interact with your marketplace that it's absolutely phenomenal. Alrighty, so I noticed that Nes was saying in the chat room that if you do have a question, pop it in there, and we'll take it in the question and answer section. So we'll have a break after I've shown you market leadership iPhone style, and after that we'll have a break. And then we'll get into the Q&A, and I've got Rob Somerville here, and we are just ready to go. Alrighty, let's roll. I'm so excited about this, I can't tell you. What you see here, just over here, is actually my real live iPhone screen. See, look at this. Scrolling, real time. This has never, ever, ever been possible. And I'm so excited to bring this to you, because in the internet marketing context, and Rob Somerville's, when we did our tests on Friday, because we can do this with the iPad and the iPhone. I'm going to just use the iPhone today. But Rob said to me on Friday, and I thought it was a very, very, very accurate statement. And he said, this is crucial, Ed, because you do most of your work on your iPad and your iPhone. And he's absolutely right. I spend the majority of my market leadership practice is run through a mobile phone. And you're about to see this live for the very first time. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to do it at real time. I'm going to go through a bunch of this stuff as I would do it. I'm not going to talk much, because I want you to see how fast, how devastating it is. Then, once I've done that for a couple of minutes, I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to take you step by step through the key elements. Okay? So that's how we're going to do this. Okay? So first up, sit back and watch, and I want you to see how fast market leadership works. Okay? And then I'm going to slow it all down and step you through it and show you how it all happens. Okay? So let's have a look. Okay, first thing, of course, we need that full screen. Okay, I have been jonesing because I have not even tapped the reader button today, which is phenomenal to me, because I will have well and truly done it by now. What you're looking at there is the front screen of my iPhone, and you can see there, that there, I think that what's on the front screen of somebody's iPhone is a very, very good indicator of a bunch of things, psychology-wise. And just, it's interesting to see, the apps that I have which continue to stay at the bottom and so on. But today, what I really want to focus on is my market leadership workflow. And as I've shown you with slides and stuff like that, reader is core to my market leadership. And the good thing about market leadership, and we'll go this way because I think you get an even better view. If we go back into my main screen, oh my goodness, 519 unread items. Oh, I'm in trouble. Oh, woe is me. This would take me, if I wasn't talking, 5 minutes tops to process. So let's crack. So if I'm in the queue, the first thing I'll be doing is clicking my vital reads, which are those crucial sites that I absolutely want to track and are very interesting to me. And I can literally look through and see any article that I'm interested in having a look. Ooh, cool. And if I want to go and have a look at that a bit more. Sweet. Sonos is getting Spotify. Very, very cool. And of course, because Reader is so darn awesome, I can literally go and check out the information literally on the spot. Okay, so we'll keep going. Cool. So this is a Gizmodo article. Now, I think I might have a look at that a bit later. So I've hit Instapaper. I'm not going to explain things yet. I'm just keeping going through. And as I say, this is much slower because typically I would flick through these. Some of these potentially are not safe for work. Oh dear. I love the talk show. If you guys are wanting a podcast to listen to, I'll be listening to that later myself, which would be great. Ooh, very, very interesting piece of information there, Paul Colligan. Hope you're watching. In fact, you know what? I think I'll tweet that. Now, a little power tip here is I'm just going to hit the title, space. Hope you're watching my Twitter stream, people. See, it automatically pops in the reader, and I hit update. It's done. This is a huge deal. I want to read about this later, so I'm going to go and just tap Instapaper. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw this, but no, we don't want to do that yet. So I'm just going to bookmark that one. Delicious. Thank you. iPhone. I don't know if you guys saw this, but this was just incredible. So I'll save that to Delicious to look at later. There's the tech specs for the cameras. Now, this will be interesting because I reckon it's not the same camera as the iPhone 4, which probably is that. Here we go. Look. Windows Phone. 4.1. Tom Draper checks his iPhone. Very cool. Yes, I picked that up too. So I'm going to have a look at that later. I can't wait to see that demo. Oh, look, there's my 30-day challenge plus Q&A, which is great because I obviously follow that and get that delivered to my feed reader. I've got to download that thing. So there must have been an Apple announcement today. Did anybody... I didn't even know there was an Apple announcement on. What about that? Game changer. The new Apple TV. Very, very interesting. Going to read all about that later. This is also interesting. The iPhone 10, iTunes 10, Ping Apple Network, which is the social network, which I think is very interesting. Might have some con tips. Gosh, you'd think Apple said something. Oh, this is cool. Can have a look at that. Cool. I want to have a look at that later. And we can keep going, you know, and I can just keep processing, just having a look. 222. Know all this. Oh, that'll be interesting. Pop that onto Instapaper. Cool. Yeah, that's fantastic. It really is quite clever, that. Keep going. Touchscreens. Always interested to see what Kenny Boy has to say. New f2 40mm from, that would be a pretty nice lens. So I might want to have a look at that. Now, interestingly, notice this link. I'm going to hold down on this. Bet you didn't know your girlfriend could do that. Look at that. You can Instapaper individual links. Now, some of you might be thinking, what the hell is this Instapaper? What's he talking about? Oh, can't wait to see that. Have a look at that. Do. That's done. Scrolling through. Oh, there's some immediate edge content. Very good series from Dan the Man. So check that later. And I hit marked as read. Look at that. I just nailed 200 articles. I just nailed 200 articles. Okay? Just in that period of time. Now, I want to show you one more category here. Now, remember I've been showing you guys kiteboarding. Now, you know, I'm not actually going to be going into the kiteboarding, so I can knock that out. I also showed you guys that I was looking at flipper auctions. And look at this. You know, I can get the details, and if anything strikes my fancy, look at that, $797 for that. Crazy. I can keep complete. Now this is more interesting. $1,000, probably overpaid. But see this? I can completely check out what's going on overnight in buying and selling websites. Every single website sale at my fingertips on my iPhone. Done. Need to check out what's going with the footy. Ackermanis to pay in Tasmania. Good luck, Acker. Jack Rewalt got the Jack Dyer medal. There's a shock. Great. Good. Check. Done. Check out the news on iPhones. There might be a bit of this. What I love about Google News, and Brett actually showed you how to do this during the week, of course, let's have a look at these links. And this is a killer tip. See, there's a bunch of articles here. Watch this. Hold down on the link and up comes this. So I can just hit Instapaper and it's away. But you're going, what's this Instapaper thing? What's this Instapaper thing? Well, here's the, let's look at this. So, it's too big to fail. That's a very funny headline. Now, I could click, just like I did there, and wait for it to load up, but okay, I think we've loaded up, have we? So I could go through and read like that. Okay, just remember how long that took. Okay, or I could hold down that, hit Instapaper, and we'll see what goes on. ANZ iPhone app. Bam. Check out what's going on in photography. Digital female nude, cool. First knock door available on eBay. I think it's a bit dodgy, that lens. Okay, I'll check that later. So I'll just hit Instapaper. Boom. Okay, how are we doing here? 185. Okay, this I love. Check this out. I'm following the challenge forums. So I can go in and have a look. Single versus plural. When you own both. Plural makes a better front, classic article. Now, if I wanted to go in and have a look, I can just click on this. So I'm doing everything in Reader. And I can just go in, have a look. You'll notice it remembers and I'm logged in. So I can just see, that that's there. Nobody's answered that yet. We'll have to get back to you, Bob, and have a look. There we are. Traffic not converting, how to monetize. Not up there yet. We shouldn't have converting traffic yet. We haven't even tested that. Non-London Challenge conference dates. Oh, well, let me... it's October 30 and 31 in London. And the next conferences will be in next year in Australia and the US. Australia probably mid-February, and it'll be later again for the US. There we are. Challenge TV, Twitter lists and so on. Great, check that out. Very good. Getting things done. Got some great tips here. Go through, have a look, see that. I really am fascinated by this social network. Got that. Check. Go into my Web 2.0. Obviously some interesting stuff here. Friend or unfriend, well, you know my views on that. And there we are. Cool. Click that. And I'm literally reading through. Yeah, the Apple A4 is the killer feature. I totally agree with that. The fact that it's in Apple TV, very interesting. Okay, so you get the feel, right? I'm down to 154 news items. And I've been talking to you through this. I can scan a lot quicker if I wasn't talking. And I can go through and have a look. All the different elements there. Lots of interesting news items. I follow some people that come up with interesting news items, and so when I'm interested in that, I can click on there, and again I can just hit Instapaper. So what is this Instapaper thing? Let's have a look. So if I hit Instapaper and just hit the read later, look at that. Remember, I hit that how many seconds ago? How many seconds ago did I hit that? Are you getting this? Are you seeing how fast this is? Cool. Now I've got my news article. Checking it out. Archive that because I finished reading it. Don't need it. Move on to the next one. Look at that. Article is here, ready to go. Why scroll through all those ads and wait for all that loading? I've just saved you an hour a day, at least. An hour a day at least. But, as they say in the classics, that's not all. I'm just holding my finger down here. I'm going to select a bit here. Put this quote. Boom, ba-dum, dum-da-dum. Going to hit, oops, not that. Oh, and I should have it in Georgia. Much better font. Can't believe I hadn't done that. Sorry. There we are. Hit share. Check this out. Now, I can email this link. And look at this. Beautiful quotes. I'm just going to type in here. Great article. Mashable. Done. And then, because I don't want this to go to my whole network, I only want it to go to my... I'm just going to go Ed Dale, so it'll just go to any blog on Posterous that has the word Ed Dale in its domain, and press send. I've just done market leadership. I just practiced market leadership, and you didn't even see me. Remember how long it took for that Wired article to come up? Gee, that was a long time. Hey? Look how quick that is. And I can just read it. I can grab a quote out of it. I can, do all sorts of stuff with it. I can use it for market leadership. I can take notes. I can put it to Delicious. I can just put it anywhere. And it's just, and it just works. So it's just fantastic, and because you do that, it just makes it just brilliant. So, now, let me show you another little trick here. So, let's have a look here. Let's go back to Instapaper. Notice it goes exactly back. And here's the cool thing with Instapaper. If I log on to any other device, guess what's going to happen? It's going to take me exactly back to here, much like a Kindle does, or iBooks. So I can just pick up reading on my iPad or wherever it is. It's on every single device. It is just incredible. But say we're doing, I'll just grab an example of this. Just grab some pops. We'll hit share. We'll do a good old email link. Now, a lot of people say, what about anchor text? Well, I'll show you my little trick. All right, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to hit that in there. Now, multitasking. You'll notice I've got something down in here called Text Expander. Now, I use Text Expander right across all of my devices. And so simply, I'll just type in here because I know my little code, ank, ta-da, look at that, done. And you hit this arrow, hit copy all text, double click, back to Instapaper. Oops, it's a shame. And here we are, drop it there. There we are. Paste. There we are. And you can just type it in. Now, if you're a little more sort of advanced in this, what you would do is you would use Text Expander and you would have every single anchor text already pre-done in Text Expander, which you could easily do, and have a different code in each of them, which is just phenomenal. And it just works incredibly. So hopefully what you guys have seen here is you have seen just how fast I do this stuff. And it means if I've got 5 minutes and I'm at the kindergarten, you're at a break, you're at a, you're waiting for your kids at school, you've got a coffee break at work, you can literally jump on to your phone and practice market leadership. Now, let me show you one other area, which is Twitter. Now, I use Twitter Later Pro, and a lot of people ask me, why do you use Twitter Later Pro? It's not a popular Twitter client. It really isn't. People sort of don't think all of this stuff is very, very interesting. I'll show you why it's interesting and why it totally rules. So I'm just going to scroll through here. Oh, there we are, Scobalizer. Watch this. One tap, Instapaper. One tap down in the corner. Done. It's gone. So rather than what typically most people would do, click, wait for it to load, and I'm on a fast connection, and then maybe add to Instapaper or read or email the link, it's done. It is done from here. So I can keep scrolling through. Apple TV versus competition. Yep, I'm interested in that. Bam, Instapaper. Notice, too, that I'm multitasking. In other words, it's doing that in the background. So I can quickly go through and have a look at all of these tweets, but I can process the tweets with a click. So typically, if I want to send a private message back, bam, 2 taps, done. Okay? And while you wouldn't use a tag, look at this, bam, 2 taps, done. Send, bam, done. That is how quick this is. And it's absolutely, phenomenal. It really is extraordinary how quick you can do this stuff. And that is, that's the whole secret of all of this, is that you can do stuff so much faster. Look at this. There it is. It's already there. Already up on my feed. It's there, it's done, it's finished. You can literally practice market leadership from your phone. And I hope this has opened your eyes to the possibilities here of what is possible with this phone. And I hope for the first time I've been able to prove to you just how important the iPhone is in my workflow. Look at classic Audio Boo. So I hit record. Okay, I hit start. Hi everybody, Ed here, and I am recording live from Challenge TV in what has been a pretty groundbreaking broadcast, because for the first time I've been able to show people exactly how I work and how the iPhone is without question the most crucial device for market leadership in any niche. And what's really cool is the way that I'm using it. For example, I'm going to show you in the picture that accompanies this Audio Boo, I'm going to show you how I'm tracking the chat session in this show. And it works just absolutely brilliantly. So hope you have the chance to catch another Challenge TV show. It's on right now. We're about to break and come back for questions and answers. So it's a perfect opportunity for you to come and get all your questions answered. We're going to be joined by Guru Bob, and we're going to have a blast. So we will speak to you really, really soon. I hit the pause button. I hit the publish button. Here we are. Oops. I keep hitting the wrong button. Here we go. Come on, baby. Oh, Sorry, I should show you full screen. And so I can literally drop an audio boo up just on the iPhone straight away. It's that quick. And that is why I rabbit on and on and on about the iPhone. Because can you do that on the Android? Yeah, I think you can. I think you can have a look. It's nowhere near as easy to set up or to implement. And I don't think it runs anywhere near as smoothly as that. But boy, yeah, any smartphone is capable. Now, there's a lot I haven't shown you. Photography, using simple text for notes and task management and all those sorts of things. I hope I've given you a taste today of why so many of these things are absolutely crucial. So, with that, we're going to have a break. We are going to have grab a cup of tea if you can, and then we'll come back and answer all your questions. And if we can show you some stuff on the iPhone, be happy to do so. So I hope you've enjoyed today's broadcast. If you have, tell your friends, and we will see you after the break. Don't go anywhere, because we're going to come back after the break with questions and answers. We'll speak soon.